What's good, y'all? I'm back. It's been a real while because I had a lot of college stuff going on. And that was really the main reason why I couldn't really upload a lot because I also was trying to figure. Well, I had bad grades. You know what I mean? I had to lock in for this whole November, Shemember, and you know what I mean. Anyways, hopefully I can get back to the YouTube grinding and give up some more quality. But see, the thing is trying to do now is I'm trying to back away from Roblox content. Well, I'll figure out some like new ways how to like set up my platform and stuff. But for right now, I just want to like stay away from Roblox content at this moment. So I'm not I am going to post some Roblox, you know what I mean? But I won't be necessarily be like I won't be promoting not really, I won't be like pushing out Roblox content specifically because I want to do other type. I want to do other different things. You know what I mean? Anyways, um, so you might the title of today's video. Okay. Before I get to that, I want to make a new series. You know what I mean? Not Bullock, but I'm gonna give you some real world advice. You know what I mean? Rick Sarsi is called Doggo Talk. Real talk from Doggo. That real talk. You know what I mean? Because out of my 19 years of life, I have so much knowledge. Don't worry, I have knowledge, Birdie. Don't worry about it, alright? You worry about, you know what I mean, taking notes. That's all you need to worry about. Take your notes or record, you know what I mean? What you call pie chart, you know what I mean? Graph it, you know what I mean? So, for my real talk advice, alright, it's one of America's, no. One of the global catastrophic, the problem in the world. You know what I mean? This is the number one problem in the global world right now. All right. Screw everything else. All right. This is the number one problem I'm about to tell you right now. How to get a femboy body. You know what I mean? That is the number one. That is the number one problem we're facing as humanity right now. All right. So I think y'all probably, if y'all were like curious and stuff, I think some of y'all will be searching up on the YouTube or Google on say how to get a femboy body or how to become a femboy type shit. You know what I mean? I'm too much sorry. What these videos give you, you know what I mean? It's just some of them. I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna. What you call it? Be rude or nothing like that, bro. You know what I mean? I think for YouTube, if you search it up, you get a channel called Zen, another channel called lmao. I'm gonna call it Key, and then other these AI other things as well. You know what I mean? And it shows like fitness guides and all that good stuff. I'm gonna say is out of no disrespect, you know what I mean? Because everybody, you know what I mean, has their way of explaining and also grinding, you know what I mean? I think it's all bullshit. You know what I mean? So why should you trust me with this? If you see my content, I did drop some things of like what I do on a regular basis. One, I used to be an athlete. I used to play football in high school, and I also did play some of playing soccer as well. But that was only summer league. But that was only because I was able, like, I was fit enough. I was at of my peak of fitness. So I would play summer league, which it might sound wrong. It might sound weird, but I know how the human body works. I know what works. I know what muscles works. You know what I mean? I know all of the goodies. You know what I mean? This I might turn this to fitness channel, probably not, but I'm just here to say how to get a femboy body properly. Not properly, but I'm gonna give you down like the actual basis of it. You know what I mean? So again, why should you trust me? I played football in high school. I couldn't go D3, D2, D run because both my ankles were inflated, and I just couldn't. I couldn't like do anything physical. until that shit was sorted out. And then I was missing out on playing contact. You know what I mean? I was missing playing sports, so I had to do Sunday League soccer, which that was really fun. Both things were really fun. You know what I mean? So, anyways, how to get the femboy body? Well, first thing we gotta first understand the human anatomy for like both male and female, right? So, obviously for the females and males, you know what I mean? What most people like to see in a femboy is the figure, you know what I mean? Like the hip ratio, you know what I mean? The gluteus, the thighs, the calves, you know what I mean? The stomach, the abdominal area, you know what I mean? Most people don't like to see a muscular femboy, you know? They just only see like the sexual appeal of it. They like to see a big round butt, you know? Big thighs, you know? A flat stomach, you know what I mean? Cute face, you know what I mean? Long hair. And obviously, females already have that. It's just, you know, the anatomy difference, the genetic difference. Obviously, y'all don't even know that. Yeah, I mean, y'all know that, you know. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, the hip. It mainly just comes down to like the hip ratio, your hip bones. You know what I mean? Obviously, for females' hips, in a skeleton, they're more wider than male hips. You know, and that's just how it is. You know what I mean? So that you gotta understand that. All right. What we need to figure out is what are your goals to what femboy body do you desire? So I like cut down like two categories. Yeah. If you're fat, I'm about to be real, but if you're fat but you want to be a femboy, we gotta preserve some of that fatness, right? If you're like chubby, like say I'm gonna say if you're overweight, we gotta save some of that. You know what I mean? Because chubby people already have that curvature. You know what I mean? That thickness. But when you do weight loss, they might lose it. You know, we gotta preserve the thickness. You know. So when I'm gonna use the game real quick. You know what I mean? I used to be fat. You know what I mean? So when I was fat, I did a lot of running, which my first sport was playing soccer. You know, what I mean? That was my first thing to do because I was just running around, just chasing the ball and everything. You know, and that also helped me promote weight loss, and also like saw how my body was getting like softer and a bit thinner. Then I went to weightlifting. The first thing I did was like just grab like 20-pound dumbbells, which just like did bicep curls, like 100 of them, to see what would do to my arms. It did something. It did something a little sweet. It was good to start off too. So if you're fat and you want to become a femboy, you gotta preserve that fitness. So what do you do? Well, you go on a calorie deficit, caloric deficit. You know what I mean? Say if you eat like 300 calories, uh, I would say don't cut it in half. But if you really do want fast weight loss, if you can handle it, cut it in half. You know what I mean? If you say if you eat 300 calories, you know what I mean? If you can't handle like one 500 calories, I would say at least eat 250. You know what I mean? You don't want to like starve yourself, all right? You don't want to get no like damn conditions or diseases. You know, you don't want to faint because you just cut your calories automatically in half. Because again, your body needs some time to take used to because they're having a sudden change in your nutrition. You know what I mean? Your body needs time to settle down and like to like shift to where we're going with this, boss. You know what I mean? And that's the only thing about weight loss too. people give up too easily because their body is still adapting to these situations. You need to let your body to adapt first. You know what I mean? So one, caloric deficit. You know what I mean? Two, this personally to me, number two, it works for me. You know what I mean? Intermediate fast. What I mean is, what today? Right now, my time is like 11:30 a.m. I usually at 12 p.m. until to 7 p.m. That helps to keep you satisfied. You know what I mean? Again, that works for me because I'm keeping my eating habits at a time basis. You know what I mean? It might feel like prison, but it ain't really because I'm controlling myself with it. You know. Again, intermittent fast works for me. It's just your timing on where you eat. Which time of day do you eat? You know what I mean? If you can handle like say you want to eat at like 9 a.m. That's cool. But you want to end at like 5 p.m. All right, that's cool. As long as you can handle that basis, all right? If you can't handle it, you either gotta like switch up the schedule or you can't intermittent fast ain't for you. You know what I mean? So caloric deficit or calorie deficit, intermediate fast, that's optional, you know what I mean? And weightlifting. Again, these are like for the more chubbier, fatter, overweight people. You know what I mean? Again, the normal thing is we gotta preserve the thickness. What I mean that is like the thigh thickness, the gluteus thickness. You know what I mean? We need to preserve that during the weight loss. We gotta save that because you were blessed, cursed and blessed with those extra weight. You know what I mean? That's things that'll give you that pop. That's things that'll give you that figure. You know what I mean? That's things gonna like give you that ooh that ooh. You know what I mean? So for weightlifting, again, you see in the art, you know what I mean? You see it in animes, you know what I mean? You see it in all that things. Again, this is like for like the more chubby or overweight people, right? Again, you preserve the thickness. Again, preserve all that thickness, all right? Your thighs, your gluteus, your hips, you know what I mean? We gotta like sculpt it down, you know what I mean? And again, for weight loss, it doesn't like target. It goes all the way, all of the body, you know what I mean? Weight loss, you know what I mean? You can't target specifically. It goes all the way to the body. Anyways, weightlifting, you know what I mean? Now, for the view of weightlifting, if you just want like an attractive lower body, perfect. Because I'm gonna give you some game real quick. All right. Full range of motion, full range of motion, heavy squat. You know what I mean? Now, by heavy squat, I don't mean like fucking weightlifting to your whole. I wouldn't say squat 300 pounds automatically. No, no, that's no. Unless you could do that. Unless, okay, if your max, say Billy Bob, right? Billy Bob's max is 350 squat. You know what I mean? For him to do a full set of heavy full range of motion squat, you gotta like cut your max in a little bit. You know what I mean? I'll say 250. 250 sounds good. It might be pushing it, but 250 sounds good because it's heavy. You can do that in full range of motion. If you could stand up, squat down, stand up, squat down. You feel in your thighs, you feel in your gluteus, you feel it, you know what I mean? If you could do that, you'll be good. You know what I mean? Again, we're trying to you know what I mean? You're trying to preserve that thickness, you know what I mean? The thighs, the gluteus, the hips. You're trying to preserve that. So I'll say full range of motion heavyweight squat. You know what I mean? If it's too heavy, again, just lower it down. You know what I mean? Even if you can't do heavy squat, just do squats. You know what I mean? You'll get the same. You might get the same result, but it's gonna take a little more time. You know what I mean? If you can't handle it, just do modified versions of it. You know what I mean? Goblin squat. Grab like a 75-pound dumbbell. Well, if you can't do it, just like goblin squat. Grab a dumbbell. You know what I mean? And like squat all the way down and stand back up. You know what I mean? If not, you go do a squat, free bodyweight squat. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? As long as you can get ass to grass, full range of motion. Yep. Get your butt to like try to touch the ground and then get back up. You know what I mean? Another thing. What you call it? Step ups are also a good one. You know what I mean? Find yourself like what you call it? I'm gonna put a picture of it. I forgot what they're called. I know the thing, but you can do some step ups over there. You know what I mean? It's like weighted step ups. You know what I mean? That like gives you the drive to like your it also helps out with your butt too and the thighs as well. You know what I mean? So you got like you know what I mean? Just step up. You know what I mean? Keep doing that. You're gonna see some progress. Lunges, side lunges, weighted side lunges. If you can't do weighted side lunges, you can do side lunges. It'll help you with that flexibility and also work out. My bad. It'll give you that flexibility and also work out your legs as well. But what really works is just heavyweight full range of motion squat. You know what I mean? That's always gonna help you out. And for calves, well, use some calf raises. That's well, for me personally, calf raises I see like I guess the most progress on it, even though I see barely, but it's the most progress you're gonna get. Unless just other type of exercises for calves. Yeah, I'll say do it. You know what I mean? If it works, if you see progress, do it. You know what I mean? But mainly, full range heavyweight squat. Also another thing. Well, that's it for like lower body. What I prefer. You know what I mean? Another thing for arms. Uh, honestly, if you do really care about arms, bench press. You know what I mean? Dumbbells. You know what I mean? If you don't really care about arms, you ain't got like you ain't go sweat about it. As long as you like do some push ups, you know, you should be okay. Unless you really don't really care about arms, then your worry should be your abdominal and your lower body, your legs and all that. Which brings us to my other thing, abdominal. Your abdominal. All right. The abdominal is going to be hard for fat people. All right, because you got all that. Unless you like being chubby, then I guess. But we're trying to get that desired femboy body here. You know what I mean? So for the stomach, you know what I mean? We gotta we gotta figure out where you're at right now. If you want abs to show, you gotta be like in a certain body percentage, you know. But if you don't really care about abs, you just gotta let that like that. We gotta let show that stomach figure. You know what I mean? Those lines on it. That's really gonna give you that pop. That's gonna give you that the attraction. You know what I mean? So what I'll say, dead hangs. Dead hangs are a good one. There's also another one where you like kind of like push your legs up. I forgot what it's called. I'm gonna find the image, but it's like you put your arms on like armrests and things, and then you just like you like try like not really like kick your feet up, but you like try like I guess you could say you kick your feet up, but I'm gonna find the image. Yeah, I'm gonna find the image. I'm gonna find the image. Don't worry. Um, but dead hangs, the things I just talked about. Um, I want to say plank, but I guess plank gives you that stability. You know what I mean? It just like helps you be more stable. If you want that plank, you know what I mean? Um, and pull ups. Even though like my like well pull ups, yeah, just pull ups, yeah, pull ups, yeah. Even though I might like do like some arm strength here and there, you know what I mean? If you can't do any of these abdominal exercises, don't sweat it, modify it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with modifying your workouts. As long as you're working, you know what I mean? That's the main focus. As long as you're moving, you're doing perfect. You know what I mean? If you feel it, you know what I mean? If you feel it anywhere, you're doing something correctly. You know what I mean? If you're working out sweat, if you feel some soreness, you're doing something correctly. You know what I mean? No pain, no gain up in this motherfucker. You know what I mean? All right. The next one we'll go through with is cardio. You know what I mean? Me personally, because of I'm gonna show you what works for me. All right. I'll say sports. Sports are my best form of cardio right now. Playing football, you know what I mean, working out and all that, you know what I mean, was it was good. I lost my voice. I'm so sorry, yo. Like again, playing football, it's like you're just running around everywhere. Same with soccer, just running around chasing the ball, chasing man. You know what I mean? I'll say do what you like. If you like to like go on runs, do that. If you like to walk around the park, do that. If you want to walk on the treadmill, do that. If you want to jump rope, do that. As long as you're like getting at least like 10 to 15 minutes or 30 minutes, you could do more. As long as you're getting your cardio in, it doesn't really matter. Do what you want. Just make sure you're moving. That's all there really is to it. Don't sweat about the cardio. All right. But if you are, there's nothing wrong with like walking. Just like walk around the park for like 20 minutes. Walk on the treadmill for like 20 minutes too. If you want to run, do that. If you want to sprint, sprints are a good one. All right. They also work out your butt too. You see all those Olympic sprinters? The They sprint with the butt. You know what I mean? They use their ass muscles. Use your gluteus medius, the maximus and the minimus. Oh yeah. Speaking of the muscles, I forgot to mention. If you do want a big butt, you gotta also prioritize working your gluteus minimus, minimus and medius. You know what I mean? The gluteus medius for gluteus medius for guys. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna show that much. You know what we want to do? We want to work that out. You know what I mean? What you call it? Hip thrusts. They're really good, bro. Hip thrusts, weighted hip thrusts. You know what I mean? Barbell hip thrusts. You know what I mean? Like put 220 on both sides. If you do 220, and then you just like hip thrust out, like uh, you know what I mean? Hip thrusts. You know what I mean? Another thing, lunges, weighted lunges, Brody. You know what I mean? Those will, you know what I mean? Those will. Ooh, I'm telling you, when you do your first set, you're gonna feel like you're quitting, bro. That's all I'm gonna say, Brody. But weighted lunges, lateral lunges, you know what I mean? Those are gonna be good too, Brody. I'm sorry if I say chubbier, you know what I mean? It's just my vocabulary, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, nutrition. Uh, I'll say get more protein in, more fiber. Also, worry about your vitamin intake. Like what sort of nutrition that you need, you know what I mean? If you're low on vitamin D, vitamin A, B, C, you know what I mean? Do some research on like the certain supplements you need, you know. Eating healthy, quote unquote. When people say they eat healthy, here's the thing about eating healthy, all right? Cutting everything that you think is bad is probably the worst shit you gotta do to your whole entire body. You know what I mean? Because eventually you're gonna think everything's bad. Just eat, and then you usually eat fucking leaves most of the time. Don't be scared of food. If you're hungry, you gotta eat. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're hungry, then go eat. Okay? You'll be okay, bro. If you're hungry, go eat. If you're thirsty, go drink. What I will say is, I'll say give up on fast food and stick to the making homemade meals. You know, there's a ton of recipes out there that'll give you like some good macros and some good nutrition. But I will say, give up on fast food. And if you can't really give up on fast food, well, do a fast casual. The fast casuals are like Chipotle, right? Modify on your Chipotle orders too. You know what I mean? Like, don't eat the tortillas. You know what I mean? Stop ordering queso. You know what I mean? Stop ordering the grappa chips. You know what I mean? Those are unnecessary calories that you do not need. All right. We're trying to lose your chubbiness, but preserve your thickness. You know what I mean? So what I will say is Don't eat the unnecessary calories if you got poor nutrition and poor macros. You know, if you're gonna eat like a chocolate bar is like 200 calories, but you're gonna get like 1 gram of protein and like -2 fibers, why you're eating it, bro? Don't eat it. There's a ton of different varieties and additionals that are way better. Probably tastes better than what you're eating right now. So again, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. You know what I mean? Let's get a hold on that. All right. I'm just giving you some advice on what works and what doesn't. Because again, I've been in this the weight loss journey game for quite a while, and I know what works for me and what doesn't. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of dedication, control, uh, self respect, and what you want to see, what others want to see out of you. All right. Again, don't sweat it. You're gonna be fine. You know what I mean? And that's what we got say for like the chubbier, you know what I mean, category. And now for the people who want the femboy body, but they're a bit slimmer, the slim gyms, you know what I mean? Uh, it's kind of hard because I'm not a skinny guy, you know what I mean? I don't know how y'all work, but I do know if you're actually like severely skinny, uh, obviously eat more calories. If you eat like 253, you gain 1 pound of fat for every 3,000 calories. So what I will want to say is be careful and eat more calories, all right? You don't want to like hurt yourself, you know what I mean? What I would say is focus on small foods that are high in calorie, like dates, even though they might make you full, but eat some dates, you know? Oh, drink your calories. Make make high calorie health nutritious healthy shakes, you know what I mean? Make sure they're high in calories so you drink it. Fish. Fish is a good one. Yes, the omega-3 fatties. Fish. Make sure you get some fish in your diet. They're gonna make you fat. Get some fish in you. Oh yeah. For both categories, make sure you drink also a lot of water, alright? A lot of water. I don't care. Don't stop drinking all the energy drinks. No. You're gonna die. No, fuck that. Alright? Drink water, okay? Fuck all the fucking free no, water. If you can't drink it, fucking chug it, alright? You better not pussy out and fucking drink water, okay? Water is not that bad, okay? I don't care what nobody says, bro. Drink water. Drink water, bro. Alright. Anyways. Yeah, for like the more slim jim people, careful on eating more calories. Alright, you don't want to hurt yourself, alright? Try to find higher calorie, uh smaller foods, you know, and again keep it also healthy as well. You don't want to become an unhealthy overweight person, all right? And again, we're not trying to make you overweight, but we're trying to give you that what you call it, that the more thickness, you know what I mean? And again, and the same thing goes with like the workout, you know, the bodybuilding, and it checks out, you know, it's the same thing. Unless you don't really care about having like big muscles. Like you don't want to pop out your gluteus. You know, you don't want to make your thighs pop out. If you want to keep it more feminine figure, obviously that's like more genetics based. You know, but again, you want to get all that curviness. You know, and that's all there is to it. It's just vice versa for the skinnier and the chubby. You know what I mean? It really is vice versa. You know what I mean? That's all it really is to it. You ain't gotta sweat about it. You know, that's all there really is to it. Again, this is how to get a femboy body. All right, not how like grow your hair out, grow like your how to get your skin glowing. You know what I mean? If you do want to make a video on it, I'll do some good research because I know yeah, I can for sure do some research on it. You know what I mean? So Sorry, do it. Sorry if it's like a weird video. If you took this as informational, I'll probably like do another cleanup of a video like this. But I just want to like get a video out, and also I do hold like a lot of good knowledge about health, nutrition, all that. Even though I don't, I'm not a doctor. I'm just somebody who knows what works for me. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean. If it works for me, I'm pretty sure it will work for you. Just make sure you're safe. Make sure you're healthy. And make sure you don't die doing all of these. I'm playing, not gonna wood, bro. But all I'm gonna say is make sure you're healthy with it and make sure you're safe with it so you can live for another day. You know what I mean? Again, this is how to get FOMO body. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, my new channel is called Gelato Doggo, and where I named it. You know what I mean? I thought it was fucking cringe, so I just named it Gelato Doggo. You know what I mean? So from here on forward out, I'm gonna try to push some more videos. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep the series rolling on Real Talk with Doggo. You know what I mean? Because for next video, it won't be like on some like it'll be on some more like actual like realistic standpoints. You know what I mean? This was also like pretty cool, but I just like want to get my words out there. You know what I mean? So again, stay tuned for that. You know what I mean? Love y'all. Uh, just be careful out there. The world's getting a bit crazier, and make sure to just love everybody that you can. You know what I mean? Don't be mean to people. All right, there's too many pieces of shit in the world. You know what I mean? Just be you. You'll be okay. Everything will work out. All right. I'll see y'all boys and gals later.